It's hard to write strong women that don't just come off as rude, that are still vulnerable, and that are still can be vulnerable. And I was in a pretty late draft of that. And I try to set it down and go away from it and come back to it, give myself a month or whatever. Just usually just life itself is what'll keep you away from it for a while. But coming back to it one time, I read through it and I was like, man, she is just not likable, because I had her in her interactions with everybody. She was very standoffish. And it was like, I think as a person, we could relate to it, like why somebody would be like that. But on the page, it was just making her not seem very, very interesting. She was less compelling that way. So I went through and like I said, it was a pretty late draft, and I went through and I tried to soften her edges and make her kind of interact with the other characters in a more enjoyable way, or a softer way, I guess. So it was, so there was balancing to do. And even in early versions, even with him, like it took her a much longer time to kind of warm up to Philippe. And I see that a lot of times in romance books that I read, when you have those female characters that we love that are just badass and fighting everybody. You're like, okay, but I want to see the emotional side or the vulnerable side, and I think that it's just a hard balance.